We are back, everyone. This is Brother Doug with all my brothers and sisters here by the Wakened by Yahuwah Assembly. This is part 2 of our Sabbath study for today. Today is Yom Kippurim. So we are keeping the Day of Atonement right now, but we're also going to be reading from Enoch. And my sister Kristen is actually going to be leading us. So we're going to be reading from the book of Enoch, chapter 105. And let me just get this on the share screen for people that don't have it to read from. Where is it here? I know it's here somewhere. And let me see. This is weird why it's not showing up. Screen. I guess I got to share it on that. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm going to mute myself. I'm going to let Sister Kristen start. Here we go.
Okay, 105. In those days, Yahuwah spoke to summon and testify to the children of earth concerning their wisdom. Show unto them, for you are their guides, and a recompense over the whole earth. For I and my band will be united with them forever in the paths of uprightness in their lives, and you shall have peace. Rejoice, you children of uprightness. Amen.
Short but sweet.
Yes.
They pay it over the whole. Huh. Interesting. Kind of see a oneness going on here. For I and my Ben, my son, will be united with them forever in the paths of uprightness in their lives. You shall have peace. Rejoice, you children of uprightness. Sounds like Yahuwah about the Garden of Eden being restored. And, the new heaven and new earth being with us seeing him as he is, as Paul refers to. I think it's 1 Thessalonians chapter 4.
I and my
You're unmuted. I unmuted you.
sorry.
Go ahead. Say what you were going to say. I think you muted yourself by mistake, and I just unmuted you so you could speak.
For I and my son will be united with them forever in the paths of uprightness in their lives, and you shall have peace. Rejoice, you children of uprightness. Amen. That is so what we need to hear.
Wow.
I feel like it is. I feel like it's exactly what we need to hear these days.
Yeah. Makes me think about that verse that talks about no longer will they need the sun and moon for light. I will, Yahuwah will be the light, and Yahusha, the Lamb, is the lamp. And thinking about that, they're our light. The Son and the Father is our light. And how great that's going to be, that we're not going to need to worry about daytime, nighttime, getting stuff done during the day and worried about when it's sunset. We're not going to have to worry about it. It's going to be, light all the time. There's going to be light all the time. And so
I love the way it says, for I and my son will be united with them. There's no doubt that there's Father and a Son.
Yeah.
Can you pause the recording for a moment?
Yeah, sure, no problem. Here we go. All right. So let's see here. Trying to see here. I think 106 is also extremely short. So let's see here. You got how many verses? 18, 19. So I mean, it's not extremely short, but it's pretty short. Let's see here. Who hasn't read yet? would
Why don't you do that one, Doug?
Okay. All right. Okay.
Then Sally and Dennis can do the last two.
All right. Yeah. All right. So we are back, everyone.
I don't have a copy of it, so
Dennis doesn't have a copy. That's right. So
Oh, how about Bobby can do one and Sally can do.
yeah. Okay. As long as Bobby's able to. If not, we'll find someone else to read one of the other last chapters. But yeah.
Okay.
So
I can read.
Oh, Sally, you want to read this one?
Is it 105?
We're at 106 actually. We're at.
Mine doesn't have a 106. It just says fragment of the book of Noah, but there is no. Oh yes, there is. I'm sorry. There is. It's on the next page.
Yeah. So that should be 106, fragment of the book of Noah. That's the title of the chapter.
Okay, I'll read it.
All right.
And after some days, my son Methuselah took a wife for his son Lamech, and she became pregnant by him and bore a son. And his body was white as snow, and red as the blooming of a rose. And the hair of his head and his long locks were white as wool, and his eyes beautiful. And when he opened his eyes, he lighted up the whole house like the sun, and the whole house was very bright. And thereupon he arose in the hands of the midwife, opened his mouth, and conversed with Yahuwah of righteousness, the master of righteousness. And his father Lamech was afraid of him and fled, and came to his father Methuselah. And he said unto him, I have begotten a strange son, diverse from and unlike man, and resembling the sons of Elohim, of the Elohim of heaven. And his nature is different, and he is not like us, and his eyes are as the rays of the sun, and his countenance is splendorous. And it seems to me that he is not sprung from me, but from the Malachim. And I fear that in his days a wonder may be wrought on the earth. And now, my father, I am here to petition thee and implore thee that you mayest go to Enoch, our father, and learn from him the truth, for his dwelling place is amongst the Malachim. And when Methuselah heard the words of his son, he came to me to the ends of the earth, for he had heard that I was there. And he cried aloud, and I heard his voice, and I came to him. And I said to him, Behold, here am I, my son. Wherefore hast thou come to me? And he answered and said, Because of the great cause of anxiety have I come to thee, and because of a disturbing vision have I approached. And now, my father, hear me. Unto Lamech my son there hath been born a son, the like of whom there is none, and his nature is not like man's nature, and the color of his body is whiter than snow, and redder than the bloom of a rose, and the hair of his head is whiter than white wool, and his eyes are like the rays of the sun. And he opened his eyes, and thereupon lighted up the whole house. And he arose in the hands of the midwife, and opened his mouth, and baraked Yahuwah of heaven. And his father Lamech became afraid and fled to me, and did not believe that he was sprung from him, but that he was in the likeness of the Malachim of heaven. And behold, I have come to thee, that thou mayest make known to me the truth. And I, Enoch, answered and said to him, The Master will do a new thing on the earth, and this I have already seen in a vision, and make known to thee that in the generation of my father, Jared, or Yared, I guess, some of the Malachim of heaven transgressed the word of Yahuwah, and behold, they commit sin and transgress the law, and have united themselves with women and commit sin with them, and have married some of them, and have begot children by them. And they shall produce on the earth giants, not according to the Spirit, but according to the flesh. And there shall be a great punishment on the earth, and the earth shall be cleansed from all impurity. Yea, there shall come a great destruction over the whole earth, and there shall be a deluge and a great destruction for 1 year. And this son who has been born unto you shall be left on the earth, and his 3 children shall be saved with him, when all mankind that are on the earth shall die. He and his sons shall be saved. And now make known to thy son Lamech that he who has been born in this is in truth his son, and call his name Noah, for he shall be left to you, and he and his sons shall be saved from the destruction which shall come upon the earth on account of sin and all the unrighteousness which shall be consummated on the earth in his days. And after that there shall be still more unrighteousness than that which was first consummated on the earth. For I know the mysteries of the Kadosh ones, for he, Yahuwah, has shown me and informed me, and I have read them in the heavenly tablets.
All right. Mute anyone that's been muted. Okay. Try to unmute them. All right. So, wow. Yeah, this is the confusion. Some people can take this chapter a whole different spectrum because of Noah's skin color. And I just want people to realize, no, white people are not children of the fallen. I want to make that extremely clear. The Caucasians are not Nephilim, so I hope I learned that false doctrine from anyone. No, the Caucasian man is just as human as any other ethnicity. So, no, that's not what it's saying here. What it's saying here is that I believe that Methuselah was a little confused. He was like, why is Noah so bright in appearance? Like, it's like, whoa, usually only the Malachim would have, appearance like that, where their bodies would be bright white. And, maybe he was like really just fearful that possibly his wife, did the same thing with one of the watchers that many of the women of the earth did, because back then almost all flesh had corrupted itself. So there was very few human women that didn't corrupt themselves with the watchers. And so he kind of was just fearing for the worst. And so I think it's because Noah was albino. And so he was like, why is he albino? I'm of a dark complexion. My wife is of a dark complexion. Why does he turn out to be a different complexion? So I think he was just like, didn't understand it. So that's why he was fearing that possibly Noah was a son of the Watchers or something. So I think that's what it was really talking about.
Because Yahuwah says that Noah's generations were pure. And if Yahuwah says it, they were.
Yeah, Noah's family was the only pure seed on earth of the human race. You had literally the Hebrew word tamim means perfect genetically. Like that's what that Hebrew word, even in the Masoretic Hebrew, that's what it means. So it actually means that no blemish. Like if you look it up in the Strongs, you look at the Brown's Driver Briggs, it means without blemish physically. So there's no way he could be a children of the Watcher. And his father, I think, was just kind of worse for the wear. He's like, why does he look a lot different than me? Like what's going on here? So, people can twist that and, turn it into like, type of black supremacy Basora and all that. But that's really what his dad was fearing, was like, wow, is that my son? He doesn't look like me. Like, what's going on here? So, but also Why did
We
he?
know that Methuselah, the son of Enoch, was a righteous man, and he took the wife for his son Lamech, and we know that he would have picked someone who was pure.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, there was a lot of stuff in this chapter about this kind of just came to my mind. Another reason they wouldn't want this in the canon is because it shows who the sons of Elohim is, especially in this chapter. There's a verse that actually says, was my wife with one of the sons of Elohim? So, if you put 2 and 2 together from this chapter, there's no way you could get a Sethite theory from this chapter. So I think that's one of the reasons it was kept out, is because, people, if they would have had the Book of Enoch, would have never really fallen for the whole Sethite view, and the sons of Seth marrying the daughters of Cain, produced giants. That's what's taught in cemetery school. So if this book was left in the canon, you would never get that view, because people would be like, oh, sons of Elohim are angels. Oh, okay. Because this chapter clearly says that in the first couple of verses talks about that he was fearing that his wife mated with one of the sons of Elohim, or that his son resembled one of the sons of Elohim, says in verse 5. So, so that kind of like hints that he's talking about the Malachim. He's talking about, the heavenly messengers and not a human being. And then I think you can honestly get that in the canon without Enoch, but Enoch pretty much tells you what a son of Elohim is according to the Tanakh and according to what Scripture says. And it's pretty, I don't know, to me this chapter, it was pretty obvious that's what a son of Elohim was, and what it is. It's not, as far as we know in the Old Testament, all the time it refers to the Malachim, the angels. And it even says, so to me that was kind of interesting that it says that, my son resembling the sons of Elohim of the heavens, and his nature is different. He's not like us. So meaning that a son of Elohim, if he resembles one of the sons of Elohim, and he's not like us, which he's referring to, his appearance is not like us, humans. So it's kind of like referring to who the sons of Elohim are. And he was like scared that his son was like one of their children. And that's why he said that. He was fearful because his son did not look like him, probably didn't look like his mother either. So that's probably why he was like afraid. But yeah, I just found that interesting. And